And we should be live. Welcome everyone. Am I muted? No. So today we have Chris Bonger from the Netherlands, and we'll talk about one of my favorite topics, which is consistency. And of course, it's not random thing if Chris is here. And we have many things to talk about. I think we'll not talk just about the tech. Uh, Challenges and consistency. So, welcome everyone. I see Shubhang is here, excited. There we go. So, Chris, we are colleagues at Daily Dev. I'll let him introduce himself. It has been a while. We should have done this like 2 years ago. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. I'm good. And thank you for having me on these Talking Wit series. We've done a lot of live streams in the past, but never one of these. So it's great being here. For those who don't know me, I'm Chris. I'm from the Netherlands. I like to travel around a bit. I work at Daily Dev together with Francesco, where I'm a software engineer and team lead. You can see the logo there. Oh, that's right. And in my spare time, I write blogs. So I decided to write a blog every single day. These are mainly technical articles. And yeah, I really love doing it. So that kind of is why we are talking about consistency.
Nice, nice, nice. Perfect. So, and yeah, he's humble. He says in my spare time, but we will discuss because what is he is doing is not that easy. It seems easy, but it's not. So, yes, Chris, let's start with the fourth question. So, how did you step into tech? I don't actually know if I know this. So, let's try to tell the story again and let's see if, because every time I ask this, something new pops out. So, how did you become a developer?
Yeah, I actually was one of those old school ones that did a lot of schooling on it. It's quite a funny story, actually. In the Netherlands, I don't know if this is a case for other countries, but you have to kind of pick your one of these four broad topics, right? So it's like healthcare, working with your hands, economics, and science. I think I don't even remember, but you can only pick these four, and like I didn't like any of these four. So I told my dad, like, "Oh, I really don't want to pick it, you know." Then I would have picked like economics, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And my dad said, like, "Oh, why don't you just look for a trade school?" And I didn't even know it was a thing. So we found this trade school. It was called graphic design at the time. So this is like I don't know, 20 years ago, I think. So it was still in the printing press time. So I had the aspiration to become like a press operator to do like old school printing of like newspapers and T-shirts and that kind of thing. But during this period, I was in the school. The old school printing kind of died. The printing presses stopped. It all went digital, and we actually got like transferred in this school, like the second year, I think. We got a lot of website design and digital design. So we started working in Dreamweaver. There was some like Photoshop to do some like printing, and it was really cool. I kind of like the website aspect of this. It was obviously Dreamweaver, like who still
I've
remembers
used it.
that?
I'm
But
old enough that I've used it. If you know what they are talking about, you are old.
yeah, 100%. And I liked it so much that I finished the school, and then I wanted to do more. So I went on another course, like a higher education, which was called IT multimedia design. Yeah, and I finished that. Did another one, like my master's degree in mobile applications, actually. So this is when PhoneGap was a thing. Like this is like iPhone 3 just came out, I think. So it's a long time ago. Yeah, and I was really loving it, and I started working very early. Started as a backend developer, PHP mainly. Kind of switched to full stack mobile. Did some DevOps in between, so a little bit of everything really. And that's what I like. I like doing different things just to explore all the cool stuff that's around on the internet.
Nice, nice. By the way, I see many people from LinkedIn today. I don't know, maybe if you have a huge following on LinkedIn, but I see more people from LinkedIn. I see something. Okay, so we will make a Dreamweaver dedicated session because I see many people going crazy about Dreamweaver. But it can also be a sponsored video. So, but I don't know if they are still alive. Maybe yes. Okay, so I have already an annoying questions. I have many annoying questions to Chris because he's my friend. So were you consistent as a teenager? Well, I know. I mean, I know that you are still a teenager, but were you consistent as a teenager?
That's flattering. Yeah, there is actually two answers to this question, like many cases. So I was actually very consistent as a student, right? So I was always like on top of my like game when it came to like studying and doing my task in time, and I was very consistent in doing that because I wanted to have the spare time to hang out with my friends. So I would make sure I did everything in school time. It's quite a good learner, I guess. But then, other than that, I was very inconsistent. So, I had probably I've done like hundreds of hobbies. Like, I played soccer for a week, then I went horse riding for a week, then I did judo for a week. I never stick to any of these things. You just couldn't find the one thing that I really liked. So, yeah, it was actually like the opposite of consistent, really.
Nice. So maybe from a technical perspective, you can say that I was not that consistent. Well, I was for sure I was less consistent than now. But I mean, maybe when you're super young, it can also make sense. I don't know. I mean, you are still super young, of course. Yes. Okay. So, Chris, let's start because I have some questions for you. So, we know you for your consistency. So maybe first of all, you can make maybe some examples of consistency for you, and then I have some else. So an example of when you consider yourself being consistent already in the past. It can be related to anything you want.
Yeah, so in the past, I was very consistent actually in gymming. It was like quite a big thing. We had a group of friends that all went to the gym when we were like 15, 16. And, some of us had some aspirations to become like bodybuilders. It was cool at the time to be fit and, ready for the beach, But yeah, and then we used to go like 5, 6 times a week, 2 hours every day, and we did this. Like, it didn't matter how you felt, what the weather was like. You just went to the gym. It was like, you have to. It's part of the vibe. You keep going. So yeah, I was very consistent in that. I think I've done that for 4 years, like nonstop. Like I would always make time to go, and yeah, it was very rare if I skipped a day. So I think that was my first like real streak of consistency.
Nice, nice, nice. I see. Yeah, many consistency with sports also for me, and yes, but I don't know. Maybe when you're younger, yeah. I was going. Of course, I was also working in a gym, but I was also going to the gym and also while being a coach. So I was basically living in gyms. So now you can understand how strange it is for me to sit for a chair for many hours. So yes, okay. So and I saw that you met many people, so you know many people now. So I don't know if we can mention someone, but there are maybe even if we don't want to mention names, but maybe is there someone or maybe some things that you have seen about tech? We can say that when you have witnessed some good consistency. Of course, my example it's you. But is there someone or something that you want to mention?
Yeah, so to me, it's like Francesco, of course. Like, I mean, the things you do, and it's not just one thing, right? So you're doing this Talking With series, which really inspired me because you kept doing them. Like, they came out every week, and it was like amazing. And now you started this daily tweeting about Web3, which is really great. It's just cool to see other people also take on like these, for a lot of people, impossible challenges, right? Because it's like a lot of work to keep doing this every single day. And there are some other people as well, especially in the tech community. Yeah, basically anyone I interact with is very consistent. But one of my biggest inspiration is actually Flavio Copes, which most of you probably know. Um,
I do.
and yeah, he started daily blogging, and when yeah, a couple years back, I would always find his articles, and I really enjoyed them. So uh, I think in the end, that was a very big inspiration to aspire something very similar. But there are also like Danny Thompson, really good at being consistent in helping people. So it's a different kind of consistency. And Josh Kumo, I don't know if anyone here knows him, probably. He's not like consistent in like when he delivers content, but he's very consistent in what he puts out. So it's another level of consistency, whereas quality is always top notch. So it's really cool to see the different aspects of these people and how they are consistent in their own way. Yeah, I could name like a million more, but I think that those are like some really
Nice.
inspirational people.
Nice, nice. No, yes, thank you. I wanted to know if, yeah, maybe you mentioned someone was not so. Was I didn't know. Nice. We have a questions from this guy who official. What is your top tip for someone who isn't consistent to change that? So, what is a tip to basically change? Basically, I think it's about like starting being consistent. And of course, we can have different definitions. So you can be consistent every month, every day, every 3 hours. I don't know. So it's very generic. Maybe it's related to tech, we can say, but maybe not just that.
Yeah, I think my main tip is to set a clear goal. Like if you have a goal, everything becomes measurable. So it's really good to measure against. Then second to that is keep things like small and entertaining, right? So don't say something ridiculous like, "Oh, I'm gonna be consistent for 10 hours a day every day. I'm gonna do X, Y, Z." Like it's really not gonna work. Start very small, like dedicate 15 minutes of your day to doing that thing you want to improve on or that goal you want to reach. And if you find the 15 minutes are too easy, like ramp it up, make it 30 minutes, make it an hour. Like that's kind of how I started. Just keep adding time until you're happy with what you put out.
Nice, nice, nice. Um, I see we have a question by you. I think is the same. So, as a developer, how do you stay consistent? So, jokes aside, something related to tech. Let's say let's turn this one is into really the coding part because, for example, for me, going from exercising every day to even just sit on with a laptop to learn something, it was I think one of the most shocking experiences of my life because you know, so I don't know, since you're also has this you're still super fit but like also this past like a very sporty person I can say, uh, how can you become consistent as a developer, so like coding, sitting on a chair coding stuff, how do you do that?
Yeah, I think it's again like don't make it a strain. Like don't try and sit behind the computer for 8 hours. Have a break. I don't know. At one stage in my career, we had a very cool and active team. We used to do like every 30 minutes, you would just do some little exercises with the whole team, like plank for a minute and do some sit-ups. Like, yeah, you get a bit sweaty, but that's fine. No one cares. um, and other than that, yeah, really take it slow. Like if you feel like the 8 hours of sitting behind a computer are a lot for you, then make it less, and don't overdo it, because yeah, it's not healthy. If your body's telling you you need to rest, you probably need to rest. um, I think that's the main thing to take away there.
Nice. So now we already have a question that I wanted to ask. I see many people asking what I wanted to ask. So let's go with them if that's okay for you, Chris. That this is a very open podcast because we're friends. We can do this in this way with you. So what happens if we break a streak? Cry? What should we do?
Yeah, this is I love this one. And this one gets me all the time. I literally get so upset with myself. And I'm not sure what the right answer is. If there is a right answer, I think it's very person to person. Some people will be like, yeah, it's okay, happens. And some people will get upset about it. I'm more of the later kind, but it's mainly because I trick myself to believe that I really need to do this thing every day. Like my brain just thinks it's normal. It's like having a coffee in the morning, or for people who smoke, it's like having a cigarette. It's like a habit you formed, and breaking this habit is really like against nature, at least for me. So yeah, I mean, you get a little bit of guilt, and I think it's a good kind of guilt. Obviously, you don't need to get upset about it. Like I for one know that these days happen, and I think if you anticipate them, it's totally fine. So what I do is I just try to work ahead of schedule. So I generally have around 10 articles up front in case of days that I don't feel like it, or something happens that is unforeseen, like you get sick, or you go on a holiday. I just prepare in advance for these days.
Nice, nice. Thank you. So now I have, if we don't have, okay, I think we have one more question by YK. YK. I wanted to say no official, I say YK. I don't know why. You can take this as a compliment or an insult. It's up to you, Graham. Um, okay. If you've been consistent, then something interrupts your routine. So again, so basically, we are everyone is watching at you because they want you to fail. How do you resume without losing motivation?
Yeah, I love this, and this is actually what drives the engagement. You know this, Francesco. Like people who want you to fail, we thrive on that.
I basically based all my social media presence on this because people wants me to fail, so they have to follow me to check. So that's the trick.
Yep. This is a funny one. I once sent Flavio an email saying like, "Oh, why did you not post something today?" He got so upset with himself because he forgot one day because the automated thing didn't publish. But yeah, it's a funny one.
Calling out.
It's all good. It's all good. But to get to Graham's question, I think the main thing is like you really have to get over this, right? So like don't give in, and like this is the biggest factor that can ruin consistency. It's like your mind will try to trick you that you don't need to do this, right? Because your mind is programmed to be lazy. So you will go like, "Oh, I didn't write a blog, and the world didn't end," right? In my case, and that's true, and I know that. But my mind is trying to tell me like, you really don't need to. You could be watching Netflix in the days in the time that you spend on the blog. So it will try to convince you that you really don't need to be that consistent, and that you can spend the time doing fun things, or being lazy. And I really think the key here is to convince yourself to get back on the saddle and to do the thing you started. So if you miss a day, it's fine, but then get back on track and start doing it again. I think that's the main thing to keep in mind. Like it's okay to really not feel like it for a day. Then the next day, motivate yourself again and do it again.
Nice, nice. We have many questions, but I wanted to ask you something before because, okay, so this will be a very annoying question. So we talk about consistency. Okay, so we say I don't know, well, post something every day. This can be an article, this can be a video. Okay, but let's say that during while we're doing this, we notice that maybe I don't know, this is not the right thing. We keep doing this just because we say that we are doing this. I don't know. Maybe in this case, it's already wrong that you decide. I don't know. Let's say I don't know. We make maybe I don't know 100 of thousands of days of coding. I don't know, maybe you change your career, you're doing something else. So yeah, we don't want to lose the streak. It's okay. But what if we have the opposite problem? Like I said that I want to do this for, I don't know, 1,000 days. And then I don't know, my life changed. I got an offer of $1 million per year. I switched my career. So how do we know if we want to stop doing something consistent, something that we have been doing consistently, because it happened to me. I don't know. I've been. You went to the gym, but sometimes we stop this for some reason. For example, decided to switch my content from Docker and DevOps to mainly Web3, not 100%, but let's say mainly. So I made a switch. So someone can also accuse I'm playing the devil's advocate role, that a person who is consistent can be just stubborn. They are doing like always the same wrong thing for their life. So how can you answer to this, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Taurus, so I think we all very stubborn in general. But it's also a trademark. But yeah, this is a very good question, and I think that kind of plays a big role for me as well to find an answer to it. So I think what you have to do is like you have a goal in life or a goal you're working towards, and every now and then, like whenever you get this feeling like, am I still doing the right thing, like why am I doing this, it's like look at the goal and then like try to see, is this like helping, is this the path I want to go to. If you got the job and that was your goal, then yeah, maybe see what will be the next goal, right? Maybe you want to advance in the job or get hired by a bigger firm, and your goal might the thing you do every day might change. Yeah, so this is the same with sport people. If you hit the goal, you obviously set either a higher goal or a different goal, so that will change whatever you do to achieve it.
Like I love this answer. I love this answer. Yes, it's because sometimes it's hard to decide if we want to stop. Someone for sure will complain, and probably they never been consistent 3 days in a row in their lives. So, okay, one question from Albert: how do you hold yourself accountable? Do you got friends, girlfriends, partners, moms and dad that checks on you if you don't write? For example, I have my dad. You also he knows about my challenges. So yeah, that's makes me accountable. Maybe more than Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one, and thanks, Albert. So yeah, I got some people that hold me accountable. So it's mainly my mother-in-law. She really keeps track of all my content, and my dad also is very
Stuff.
active in following me. But yeah, no, it's cool. You also get on like along the journey, you meet a lot of people that obviously like what you do, and they start to engage in like emails or on Twitter, and they start asking these questions as well, like how do you keep up, and like I really like what you do, keep it up. And if you're late one day, they will send you an email like, oh, where's the email for today, stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. And one thing I think to really take away here is something that really works well for a lot of people is to do this in like a group activity, right? So like find someone else who's doing something similar, and engage with them. Hold each other accountable. If you're having a rough patch, talk to them because they're doing the exact same thing. So they will also have like dealt with these feelings as well. So it can really help to find like-minded people and chat to them regularly and see how they are doing.
Yes, and I think that here you are using the gym approach, the gym mindset approach. It sounds very similar to me.
Yeah.
Like that you go to the gym together. Now we do something together. So I love these analogies. I still use them even when I do some crazy coding challenge. For me, there's always physical stuff. So it's yes. Nice, nice, Chris. By the way, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. Thank you, Chris. You are doing super well. I'm trying to make difficult to answer, but you're doing well so far. Yes. So okay, so let's go with a good one. So, which are the pros the, of being consistent from your point of view? I want to keep this as broad as possible. Like, which is the good? Let's talk a bit also about the good stuff because we try to make the hard ones before. So now you can talk about the advantages, of course.
Yeah. So there. I wrote some things down, so sometimes you'll see me looking at my paper. I think for me, this is going to be a little bit of a personal answer, so people can see how they can relate to it. But that it becomes a habit is a real pro to me, because it means that you. So if we take technical writing, like by making it a habit, like the technical skill you're doing becomes a habit. So you can see you're improving in your technical skills and writing skills. So you can take this as a global example. Habits are a really strong way of making something really click in your mind. Um, Furthermore, you get to squash your goals like way easier by being consistent. If you want to achieve a goal and you may be hit it once, with hard work and dedication, that's one thing, really cool. You hit your goal once, but if you do it with consistency, you can keep hitting that goal every single day. So it's really cool. And it opens a lot of opportunities. By being consistent, people will notice you, and they will like see you as an expert in a field, because you are consistently talking about this thing. So it's not a once-off hit wonder, not one article about something like, yeah, good article. But if you do that consistently, people will be like, this guy knows what he's talking about. So we need to reach out to him for content around this topic. So I think that's really cool. And obviously, consistency comes with a lot of goals, and goals come with a lot of rewards. So every time you hit a new goal, or you achieve something, you can celebrate that. And I love celebrating little goals, and my consistent streaks.
Nice. Nice. Are you telling me that if I start posting consistently about Web3, they can invite me in a conference in 5 months? So this is what happened to me.
Yeah. I'm sure that won't happen though, but you never know.
I've been lucky, I've been lucky. But no, yeah, for me, yeah, I drop all your questions. Come on, even if I like your hearts, but of course, I share this. I just want to say something before we forget, and I just want to go here. Let me try to go here. Okay, let me. I do something that I don't do this. So this is an exception to see. So Chris can forgive me for not having invited this before. So this is the Chris blog. So I don't. Can you tell me if this is a typo, Chris, or not? Because here I see something wrong. Maybe it should be debugged, because I see 500,000 words written. Is this correct?
This is correct. Yes.
Okay, so this is a bit. So maybe I can make a live stream when I read all your articles. Maybe I need more than 12 hours, I think. So
You want
yes.
a fun fact around that number? So
Yeah.
a generic novel is between 80,000 and 100,000 words. So I've written more than 5 novels by now, I think.
Nice. Amazing. Amazing. Have you now I have some questions, because now I got some random questions out of the blue. Have you ever thought of basically with all the articles you wrote, you can create ebooks, like more than one, I don't know, or series, because you wrote so much that you have written all the content that can be organized in books, maybe separated per topic or whatever, because you write about everything, and it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah, I did think about this, and first of all, I'm really not in a mindset to create like paid content. So that first of all, so I could create free ebooks, but then to me, it doesn't. My articles are more often solutions to problems. So I'd rather have people Google for a question, and my article pops up as an answer. Then I help that person, and it's quick. The articles are quick generally, so it's like, here's your answer. With an ebook, it would be very hard to format that, but maybe in the future, I'll write an ebook dedicated to some of the more advanced topics.
so currently you are more focused on the Google stuff, discovering thing, because you also have your own blog. So yes. Nice, amazing. So let me stop sharing. Maybe share something later. And yes, so I think we are already close to the end because we already talked for 30 minutes. But yeah, before we go, Chris, is there is okay? So let's keep with the hard questions. So is consistency really mandatory? Because sometimes on Twitter, like I'm a huge fan of consistency. I don't think that this is a secret, but there are some people who said like, oh no, you don't need to be consistent. You can also, I don't know, do something in someone is talking about intensity, for example, or something else, or maybe you don't need to be consistent. You can do whatever they want, whatever you want. Probably, yes. If both of your parents are billionaires and are also lazy, you can also do whatever you want. Maybe we are talking about for mortals. So, is it mandatory to be consistent, to be successful? Well,
Yeah, it depends what your successful meaning is. So, yeah, some people, they're happy with where they are, and if you're happy where you are, you really don't need to change anything. Uh, I mean, I'm a firm believer of letting everyone do what works for them. So, if they are happy at the place they are, then that's good. I think that's why often people you see on Twitter, they are aspiring to become something like something bigger than what they are, which is great. And if you have any type of goal, consistency can really help you. I mean, it's not mandatory, but it will help you get to that goal in a more concise manner, and it will stick longer. Yes, you can shoot once and maybe you hit the target, but if you only had one chance to shoot, you could have missed and then you would have stopped. So, if you could shoot every day, then there's obviously more chance of hitting the target. So I think that's my approach, and I prefer to do it that way. So I would say, like, try out consistency. I've yet to meet someone that really doesn't work for.
nice. I love that, Chris. And I think that if you're consistent, even maybe even if you don't get like your first goal, maybe you get something else. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You tweet consistently about something. For example, I was like tweeting consistently about something else, and now I'm here doing something else on YouTube, for example. So sometimes I'm really shocked about how consistency can really work in strange ways. Like for people just noticing you, but maybe they don't even like what you write, but they just admire you because just because you are doing that. Yeah, like I don't know, if you run every day on the same road, at some point people start noticing that. So it's even if they are not runners. So it's strange. I don't know if you remember Forrest Gump. He was like running across all the United States, and yes, it's something like that. At some point, people think, "Oh, what is this person doing?" And I've also seen that. Yeah, sometimes like this kind of consistency, it's like it causes a lot of admiration. Like people admire people who are consistent. I don't know, even say, but for example, I never been in bodybuilding, but for example, I just admire consistency. I can be against something, for example, in bodybuilding, but still you admire the consistency. And the same, I don't know, even for artists, that they do like the same thing for many years, and even in sports. So yes, Chris, thank you so much. I think that we really dropped something useful. And yes, if you have some last minute question, just drop it in the chat. I don't know if I lost something. Let's see. I don't think so. So, Chris, what can we say at the end of this first official episode of Talking With? Especially, this is a series, especially for beginners, especially developers or beginners who are just getting started. To, of course, helping with code, but if you follow me and Chris, we know that we are not like coding 24/7 with black hoodies. Probably we have some black hoodie, but not just that.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much for having me. I just wanted to say that. Really appreciate it. Then I want to like really say to everyone, try out consistency. And how can you start trying it out? Set aside 15 minutes of your day. 15 minutes, like it's all it takes. It's 24 hours in a day. 15 minutes is nothing. So like set these 15 minutes aside. Set your phone on silent mode. Remove distractions and do that thing every single day. Like whatever it is you're trying to become better at, do it for 15 minutes a day. And if it becomes too easy, ramp up the hours, ramp it up to a bit more time. And you will see that it will make a huge difference over time. That's what I want to give to everyone.
Nice, thank you, Chris. And this is exactly what I apply now. Now that I'm getting older or wiser, we can say. So maybe I needed also this kind of tips. So when because yeah, I think we have plenty of time, but sometimes we don't use it like in the best way. I think like exercising 15 minutes. I don't know, just exercising on something. I don't know, 15 minutes of push-ups every day. It's a lot. Conversation is silly. Okay, I see people in the chat are really having fun. So if you want, we can leave the chat, the live stream open. Maybe this can also be an idea. Like at the end of the live stream, we just go away and we leave the chat so they can enjoy. I'm sorry, but yes, please. If you don't know Chris Bongers, you made a mistake in your life. Follow him and also follow his blog. And yes, Chris, I want you to start making videos in some ways. Tell me, how can I do that? I mean, okay, we are in a video, but how how can I I don't know, bring you more on the video side? Because I think that if you mix videos and consistency, it's basically a boom cocktail. But I mean, it seems that you're like exercising on the blog, which is great, of course. But I don't know. This is the last annoying question. I promise, Chris.
Yeah, this one hurts. I even tried to do YouTube videos on me writing the blogs for a while, Twitch live streams actually, and yeah, that was just like too much stress. I was getting like burned out from it. But maybe, and I'm not gonna say this as a hard thing, but maybe once I hit 1,000, I'm gonna stop writing and converting like the top articles into video format. I don't know. I think that would be really cool to start converting the articles
Nice.
from written to video.
Let's see. I've done this once. Great experiment. Basically, I know I made something even more annoying. I wrote the article during a live stream. It was a Fastify one. I wrote the article during the live stream. The most annoying thing, but it was good for me because I could focus during the live stream, for example. Yes, and I think that yes, you can. Krista should start making YouTube videos. Shubangi says this. It's true, and yes, should do everything. Nice, amazing. Okay, let's. Chris, thank you so much. It's been really an incredible episode. Yes, also this series started as almost as a joke. I don't have, for example, this like. Usually for me, consistency is something that comes up after I do something. I don't start at the day one. First, I want to try. And yes, this is also how I started, let's say, my YouTube channel in a very more consistent way. So the one first I made 100 days, in 100 interviews in 100 days. Then I had two choices: even become a journalist or keep being a developer. So I decided to so let's do this once per week and let's keep being a developer. But yes, this is the episode 170. So we are 30 close to 200 episodes, which I mean, it's I'm proud of this because it's a way for me also to talk with my friends. And yes, that's it, Chris. Thank you so much again. Of course, we work every day at Daily Dev. There we go. There it is. And yes, so thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Drop something in the chat. Come on, say hi. Share the link. Let's continue conversation on a Twitter space. Who is this guy? Nice. I know this. Perfect. So and I see that Chris sometimes is around on Twitter Spaces, so you can also see him. He has also been today on Twitter Space, by the way. Okay, nice, perfect. So I close this live stream, so you can go and do all the Twitter Spaces you want. I think that I'll go outside again because today I sit too much time, and now I have just this, and then I'll close it. Chris, when I do something stressful, for example, my live stream, the first day I feel nothing. 2 days after, I feel the stress of the 2 days before. This also happened with my thesis, with some exams. I feel the stress like maybe I'm retarded. I don't know. I feel the stress after 2 days. So now I'm feeling the stress of Sunday, which is crazy. So now I want to relieve my stress. Perfect. Bye everyone. Of course, follow Chris. And yes, wish him luck because he's not that far from 1000. I hope that you. I just want to share this again. I want to see if on 100 the layout will break or not. Even maybe 1 million. So maybe at some point there is some space here, but at some point I think it will have some layout issues. I just want to point this out, Chris, because we are developers. We want this to be always well formatted. Okay.
We'll
Bye.
see. We'll see what happens.
Perfect. Bye, Chris. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye, everyone.